Yesterday, who remembers what we talked about? Raise your hand, so don't yell out. This is how I get my, you were asking how I did oral communication. Alright. Yesterday, Jay, what did we talk about yesterday? Volume of prism. Alright. Miss Mathis, when we did volume of prism, what did we learn the formula was for a rectangular prism? Now that's the area of a triangle. Yes. Yes, very good. Alright. So, Micah. So we said that the volume of a rectangular prism was length times width times height. Alright, so and then we used that to get the formula for the volume of a triangular prism. What was that?
Length times width times height over 2.
Very good. Length times width times height over 2. Alright. Ms. Jones, explain how we know that the volume of a triangular prism is length times width times height divided by 2.
Because the triangle is 1/2 of a rectangle.
Very good, because triangle is always 1/2 of a rectangle. Alright, so today we're going to move on to volume of a cylinder. Alright. A cylinder. That's like the Pringles can. Now, so we need to find out how many Pringles, how much space I have that I can fill with Pringles. So we have to know the volume, how much can fit inside that can. Now, let's step back just a little bit to yesterday's lesson. Said length times width times height. Alright, so what is length times width the formula for?
The area of a circle.
The area of a rectangle. Huh. So this piece right here is area of rectangle. I wonder if that would carry over into a cylinder.
Yep.
So we took the area of the rectangle times how tall it was. Alright? So let's do a cylinder. Close enough. That doesn't look like a cigarette.
Paper towel.
There. So now I got my paper towel. Alright, so the formula for volume is so it's what? Paul?
That's the area of the whole cylinder?
That's the volume of the cylinder.
Oh,
So what formula does this have inside of it?
the circles and the,
What about a circle?
the formula of the circles?
Formula for what of a circle?
Oh, sure.
So we use the area of a circle. Huh. So now we're back to the same three formulas that I told you all the way back at the beginning you had to memorize. Wonder if that's a coincidence. So volume is nothing more than you look at your base, you find the area of that shape, and then multiply it by how tall it is. How many times I can put that stack on top of each other. So, have we added any more formulas that we had to have memorized? Do we have to have any more than our three normal figures memorized? Nope. That's still all you have to memorize is your area formula. And the only thing you have to remember is volume is nothing more than how many pieces.
Baby on board, if you're at the building, please report to Ms. Blankenship's office. Baby on board, please report to Ms. Blankenship's office.
How many pieces of this size will it take to fill it up? So you know this piece is this big, and height tells you how many pieces it's going to take to fill it up. So volume, and all it means is fill it up. Like a cup, your Pringles can, your soda pop, your in a can, not a bottle, because a bottle would be a. What would the bottle be?
Our cylinder.
What? It's going to be a cylinder, but it's going to also have what piece on top of it? It's not a triangle when it's three-dimensional. What's it called when it's three-dimensional?
Cone.
Cone.
Is it a
Good. Yes.
Oh, it is.
It would be a cylinder with a cone on top.
Uh-oh.
So it's a cylinder up to this point, and then we have a cone, and then another cylinder. So you'd have to find a cylinder, a cone, and a cylinder to find out exactly how much this would hold. So it would not be a bottle, but it would be a can. You took this can and measured the bottom, got the radius, and then you measure, this is a cylinder, then you find out how tall it was, then you could find out how many layers this big would fit in it. So it's nothing more than a circle. The height tells you how many of those circles you have. Miracle Whip, ketchup.
Put all this stuff back to
Alright. So volume, all that is tells you how many times that area will fit into the cylinder. Or if we go back to how many times the area of this rectangle will fit into our prism. Absolutely nothing different. So you find the area of the shape that's on the bottom, what we call the base, the area of that shape, and then you multiply it by the height. Height tells you how many times that spot would stay there. Alright. So let's look at an example. Mr. Weatherspoon, what's this say? What's our first piece of information? It goes all the way across, so that's the what? What piece goes all the way across the circle? Diameter. Alright. What's the formula that I need? Miss Brown? Yep.
Pi times radius squared.
Good.
That's part of it.
What's the D?
Pi radius squared.
Times D.
No.
Times.
Alright, J. Burrell. Times height. Pi times radius squared times height. Alright, so I have my D, but I don't have a D in my formula. So what am I going to do? Mr. Dye, what am I going to do? I don't have a D in my formula. No D for dye. So I have to make my dye into what? Or D into what?
I know.
Into the radius. Good. So I got to do what? Divide it by 2. So R equals 4. Alright, so now I'm going to plug my numbers in. Volume equals pi times 4 squared times 24.
What did you just divide it by 2?
The diameter. You divide the diameter by 2 to get the radius.
Oh, yeah, alright.
So, and then at that point, all you're doing is plugging it into your calculator. Alright. So I've given you an example